Alright, agents. We've got a lot of crazy updates coming out for Deceive Inc, and I don't want to waste any of your time, so let's get right into it. Starting off, we have a roadmap confirmed that we will break down, and we also received a debriefing with further details about what the devs are working on coming later this April for our first content update. There's a lot of exciting changes underway. The devs are geared up and passionate about the game. Let's see what they've got in store for us in the roadmap. We won't go into super hard details because, again, a lot of what's in this roadmap is already being mentioned in our first patch debriefing that we'll touch on after. So, pulling up our development priorities roadmap, we see that there's short-term goals, a first content update set for hopefully later in April, and classified info that we'll get more information on probably later in the next few months. For short-term goals, we've got a lot of high priority changes, including work for top community issues. In particular, the devs mentioned the scroll wheel bug and addressing various loot issues. There's also small-scale balance tweaks in the works, such as nerfing Cav or buffing Hans. This one I can personally resonate with, as I am a Hans main myself, and let me tell you, his shotgun is one of the single most inconsistent things in any game I have ever played in my life. You can barrel stuff somebody and have half of your pellets no reg, opening the window for you to get 3-tapped by a Chavez. My only guess is that they're probably going to tweak his shotgun 1 or 2, or possibly increase the duration of his debuff, as it currently only shuts out your enemy's abilities for like 3 seconds. Not a big deal all of the time, but it can definitely help you when Chavez is invuln. As for Cav, I actually do have a friend that plays Cav every day with me. He has all of her stuff unlocked, very consistent player. I asked him how he felt about Cav, and he only had an opinion on the second gun. He said the first one was a little weaker, it was fine. The third gun took a lot of aim, a lot of consistency. The second gun, he said, was slightly overtuned, too much damage for too little effort, and that's probably what they're going to focus on, is my thought. I mean, ultimately, if a Cav charge heavies you to initiate the fight, right, she's going to hit you with that 35 damage, and then she's going to shoot you in the face, and you're going to be almost dead before you realize what just happened. Cav's a very strong character in good, capable hands, and could use a little bit of tuning, in my opinion. It can be nuts. They're also working on stability for console, an entire aim assist overhaul for controllers, and identifying performance issues and outputting improvements. I'm very excited about this one in particular because I definitely run choppy on the game. Even though I have a tower computer, I put my graphics on low just to get the best performance possible. Doesn't look that great in low graphics, but the gameplay's more important, right? Alright, so we're going to skip over this entire chunk of the first content update in the middle of this roadmap, only because these things are going to be touched on in our first patch debriefing. For future updates, we don't have a lot of info on these yet, but they're looking at a kill cam edition. This is great. This will help you figure out how you got scuffed up by better agents, and you'll learn more. They're also going to be adding a new map, new agents, and custom lobbies. This one I'm very, very happy about. My friends and I, there's 6 of us that own this game, okay? We've had multiple days where somebody has to split off in the party and do solos because there's too many of us. If we could do a 6-man solo custom, that would be amazing. And the devs said they want to push out a quick, simpler version of the custom lobby patch as soon as possible so that we have something to work with before they figure out and iron out what they're really going to be doing and adding more quality of life updates. I think that's a great idea. Give me something simple and stupid so that I can just play custom games and we'll figure out the extra details later, right? I think that's a great idea. Now we're going to move on to our first patch debriefing, and this debriefing is insane. I did not expect this level of detail in general changes to the entirety of the gameplay loop this quickly in the game's development. I want to personally thank these devs for being so passionate, so open, so close with the community, and just being great people. I've been in that Discord. Join the Deceive Discord. It is a great place. We do have a lot of discourse talking about different issues in the game, and there are a few lesser than nice people in there. But generally speaking, Everybody's having good discussion in there. It's a great place. Please come visit us. Firstly, we have a new agent coming to the game. They're going to be a scoundrel, which means that like Madame Shu or Larson, they're going to be a particularly sneaky agent, most likely. My hope is that they're going to have something to do with fighting or intel. Our other two scoundrels already have some tools to accomplish stealing things from other players, escaping, disguising, and even tracking. And I'm definitely thinking this new agent will have something to do with intel. Like maybe having a passive that doesn't consume intel when you take it, so your allies can also get that same intel. Oh shit, okay, yeah. So, I forgot to mention that. That's really important to my idea here for this new agent. So intel is no longer going to be shared. Intel is going to be a one-time use per team now to help slow the game down. So if Larson grabs it on your squad and then your Madame Shu goes over and tries to grab it, she won't be able to. This decrease in the total amount of intel available to each team is going to be a drastic change, but this will be for the better. I'm unironically seeing games end in 5 minutes, and this is definitely not what the developers intended for the total gameplay loop in each match. If you have any idea on what you think this new agent is going to be about, their abilities, their passive, their gun, make sure to head to the comments below and let me know what you're thinking, because I have no idea what the devs are planning on doing here. So immediately following the new agent announcement, we have the introduction of the heat system. So for those of you who have played Deceive a bit in the last week, you've probably noticed that most teams will just murk every NPC left and right to make sure that there's no players nearby. I myself will often charge melee every guard in the blue room when I first hop in just to be sure. Well, no longer will we be doing this. The heat system is a 3-tiered system that builds when you down an NPC. Once you've built up enough heat from downing NPCs, you will progress up 3 tiers of heat, progressively debuffing as you go up the tiers. And these debuffs are crazy, okay? You're 30% more vulnerable for 12 seconds at just heat 1. Just heat 1. You're 50% more vulnerable at heat 2 for 15 seconds, and then the third level. This is death, by the way. The third level of heat, you've gone rogue. You're going to take 100% more damage for 20 seconds, double damage, and you are exposed for the entire duration, meaning that you cannot regain your cover. This has a significant chance to just get you killed, so you need to be careful with this heat. If you manage to get heat 3, even guards are going to be hitting you for double damage, and there's a few characters in the game that can actually one-shot you at this point, even with a health upgrade. Your heat will vent off over time, however, as you lay low and stop murking NPCs and stay disguised and just chill for a while. Your heat will vent off to help you go down tiers. So just be patient and be careful, okay? Between the heat system and intel no longer being shared, this will significantly slow down games, which is going to be way more in line with what the developers were intending for their gameplay loop, I believe. A friendly reminder, this is a good thing, in my humble opinion. I have seen games unironically end in 5 minutes, and this is not at all what was intended. Oh, and before I forget, if you down a VIP, you go up an entire tier, by the way. Yeah, so you know how this patch, disguising as the VIP, is honestly just detrimental than anything else? All it does is put a target on your head. Yeah, so next patch, disguising as the VIP is unironically going to be a phenomenal choice, because nobody's going to want to accidentally down the VIP and immediately go up an entire tier of heat. So, disguising as the VIP is actually going to be a good idea. Alright, continuing on beyond the heat system, we have another insane change to the game. Revives. You love them, you hate them, we all have the ability to get 1 revive per person in a team, even from a distance using the spy goggles, right? Well, no longer will it be 1 revive. We've got 3 now per person on each team. That's a lot of reses, 9 in total. But in order to make this not ridiculously overpowered, the developers changed all reses from 1st to 3rd, with giving you a debuff to your maximum health. Even the first revive is not free anymore. You will lose max health, progressively getting worse as you go through your 3 revives. Once you're on your 3rd life, you're going to be looking at 30% max health left. So many characters in the game can actually one-shot you at that point. But hey, you know, you got revived an extra 2 times, so you can't exactly complain, right? This is also going to be a good effect in stopping people from camping your buddy's body for 10 minutes. I've noticed this too, especially in games where the team is counting their bullets essentially, right? Like you've got that team that's running around and decimating everybody. They know they've already wiped out 2 squads and you're the last one. They down your buddy. They're just going to stand there for fucking 10 minutes, right? Well, not any longer, right? So this will assist with preventing that because nobody's going to want to sit there for 10 minutes for what could be 3 revives. They're going to have to leave and stop wasting their time. Especially with how slow the games are now, they don't have time to waste. I think this is a great change too. It's going to allow you to play with your buddies more. Even though you're going to have 30 health, it's going to be a big change that prevent you from sitting there for 15 minutes while your 2 boys try to clutch out a 2v3. It's going to be fun. These were the major, entirely game-changing updates coming this patch, but there are multiple small, notable changes that I will speedrun right now. Rooms to the Vault Terminal will now no longer have a purple or orange keycard, and they will also not have a purple upgrade chest. Rooms without a terminal will now have a guaranteed purple or orange keycard. There will also now be 2 purple chests in purple rooms, and this is a change I love myself. They're increasing the spawn pool of green rooms, so they'll be more consistent. These changes are great, because they lower the snowball of a team rushing a terminal first and making it less crushing when you find an empty vault terminal room. These devs are also making significant changes to jumping to prevent strafing and bunny hopping. Players will have less air control when jumping to make tracing easier in a fight. However, to counteract this and allow for good escape still, if you jump from a much higher height, ones that probably going to do fall damage, you know, those heights you actually get extra control for. So, small jumps, less control, big jumps, more control. We're also receiving an increased XP modifier in solos, 30%. That's a big deal. You'll notice that when you play squads, there's so much happening, the games are going so much longer, you're going to get a lot more points, a lot more XP at the end of the game. But now with these changes, solos are definitely a great way to grind up a character. 30% is a big deal. They're also working on tweaks to characters' hitboxes, a rework to recoil to add more consistency, improved melee hit registry, an increased level cap, map changes. So this is a big change, which is why I'm separating it from the last sentence. They're changing body shots, right? So now instead of shooting somebody in the arm and having it count as a limb shot, which does the least amount of damage, by the way, from the waist down is only the limbs. Waist up to the neck is chest. Head is head. So you're going to be doing a lot more consistent damage because you're not going to accidentally shoot somebody in the arm and do less damage. Shooting them in the arm is going to count as shooting them in the torso now. The only place you're getting limb damage is in the legs, which is going to be a lot less consistent. It's going to be a lot better for everybody. There are even more changes, by the way. This isn't even everything. There are other changes that I just don't have all this day to go over. Please go to the comments, go to the description. There's a link. There is a link in the description for this forum post. Please go look at it and study it yourself. You don't want to go into the battlefield unprepared, but I can't cover everything here today. And I just wanted to mention here that although it doesn't say anything in the debriefing about the Hans buff or the Cav nerf, these things are hopefully, we're going to be looking at them in the end of April, in May, sometime in there, hopefully. Hey there, so quite literally while I was making this video, the devs released yet another debriefing detailing their soon plans to shake up the meta with nerfs and buffs to many agents. I'm throwing this in this video very last minute because this even includes the Cav nerf and the Hans buff I was just talking about. So I have another video I am working on discussing that debriefing as well. Please subscribe and stay tuned to make sure you don't miss it. Alright agents, I've rambled on long enough. It's about 95 degrees in this room and I am sweating. I'm excited that you chose me, Horse, to break down this major update for you, and I'm excited to be a part of the Deceive community. My friends and I love this game, and we have just wanted to see it succeed the entirety of the time we've had it. Too many Battle Royale have been shuttered out in the last couple of years after 3 months of troubled development, post-launch worries. There's so much that could go wrong, right? I just want to see this game succeed. It's a very unique game. It's a fun game. It's a cool game. If you don't have it, buy it. It's $20. Such a low barrier to entry for what can be 50, 100 hours of fun with your friends. And it's only getting better. Alright, please subscribe if you like this video. There's more in the pipeline, and the best way to motivate me to make more content if you enjoyed this is by liking, subscribing, commenting, all of that stuff. The interactions are what keep me going because I am depressed. Not going to go into details here. I just need your help. Help motivate me to make more stuff. I want to make it for you. Alright, agents. It's been my absolute pleasure to break down the roadmap in the first patch debriefing with you. Stay tuned. I will see you soon. Stay blessed. Head is head.